This is a ghazal written by Bhau Kalchuri on January 8, 1992. It's entitled, Solve the Difficulties for Me. O beloved Meher, when I said to you, I need only you, and I do not need anything else besides you, you laughed and said to me, you need me in order to fulfill your desires and wants through me. But if you really need me, you will not give room to your false existence. When I asked you, what is the difference between needs and wants, and how can one survive in the world without needs and wants, you said to me, whatever you require in order to survive in me, that is your need, and therefore try to survive in me. When I asked you, your message, don't worry, be happy, is nice, but how is it possible for anyone not to worry when he faces difficulties? You said to me, the world is an illusion, and difficulties are an illusion, and therefore why worry about illusion which has no existence? When I asked you, what is action and inaction, and how can one achieve it? You said to me, do anything and everything for me and my love, and this action will be in action, and you will not be bound by the action. When I asked you, if I commit robbery in your name and for you, whether this action will be an action? You said to me, you are really a fool. Know well that your action should be in order to please me, and therefore, how can you please me if you commit robbery? O Bhau, it is a fact that you are mentally sick. And this is the reason why your mind is full of unnecessary questions. O fool, dissolve all your questions in the ocean of his silence and find the silent answer of all your questions for all time.
This ghazal is dated the 13th of December 1991, and it's called The Fire of Love. Oh beloved Meher, now I realize why I can't enter into your home, which is eternal and which has no walls. Because I am used to living in that house which has walls. And though I change house after house, I maintain the walls. When I asked you, how should I make the walls of my house fall so that I may enter into the eternal home? You said to me, just follow me and the walls of your house will start crumbling and they will fall down. When I asked you, if the walls of my house fall down, how is it possible for me to put up with the cold in winter? You laughed and said to me, the walls of your house will not start crumbling unless you have the fire of love within, and this fire is such that it is not affected by cold, heat, rain, snow, or from anything outside. When I asked you, how can I have the fire of love for you, and what should I do to have it? You said to me, you are really a fool. Did I not tell you just to follow me? When I asked you, I don't know how to follow you, though I do long to follow you. You said to me, think of me and don't think of anything or yourself. When I asked you, if I think of you, only how will I survive in the world? You said to me, I did not find any fool like you in the world. To think of me means you do. Let me read that again. You said to me, I did not find any fool like you in the world. To think of me means whatever you do for me, and lead your life in order to please me by following my wish. Oh, Bhau, do you know how stupid and shameless you are? How dare you show your face to the world? You have been with the beloved since so many years, and still you don't know how to follow his wish and how to please him. Jai Baba.
Of my beloved Abba, Avatar of the age, the ancient one, the highest of the high. The ancient one comes down on earth, age after age, but his past is always remembered, worshipped, present is ridiculed, criticized, and ignored, and future events it is anticipated with fervor. When he is there, he is always criticized. Only few can follow it. Others, the world does not know. but it is his compassion that he comes down on earth in order to help the humanity. And not only humanity, but all the kingdoms of illusion of consciousness, the lower kingdoms too. You just think that this world is a very big world. We have no idea how many universes are there. How many? Innumerable. Because God is infinite. His shadow must be infinite. And when his shadows is infinite, then of course there must be innumerable worlds. MeherBaba has told us that there are 18,000 worlds where human beings are inhabited. 18,000. But this earth is such that spirituality you find here only on earth. And that spirituality means he also comes down on earth, the highest of the high, and then of course all those who are the saints, the masters, they are only on earth, not in other planets. So to be on earth, it is a great fortune. That means we are ready to have some wine from the Lord, from the highest of the high. If we provided, we have thirst for that. And because we don't have the thirst, he has to come age after age to create that thirst and give that wine of love. And when it happens, when he is there in physical form, of course physical form, only few people know him. The world does not know, and he knows why the world does not know. But he is the wine giver. He has to give, so he prepares them so that they may have the thirst. When he drops his body for 100 years, he works and works. He remains infinitely active after dropping his physical body. And that's why when the avatar or the Christ, when he comes down on earth for his universal manifestation, it takes a long time. When Jesus, he was crucified, it took a long time, not 100 years, but the secret no one knows. Why it took, it was really exactly 100 years. 100 years his universal manifestation. But no one knows when he was crucified. Crucified, they think that yes, he was crucified, finished. When he was crucified, the Lord, when he was there on earth, people were criticizing him. They went to that extent that they crucified him. The one who could give life to the dead, the one who can give sight, who could give sight to the blind, and that one, of course, he was crucified. Would he not use his power and save himself? But this is his divine King, a glorious one. He just passes through different things. Now, when it happened, the world forgot him. The world forgot him. Nothing. But then after 200 years, what was that? How people remembered? Who did that work? Whether the disciples, they were also ridiculed, criticized. How did it happen? He was infinitely active. He was doing his work. And his work, only he can do. No one can do his work. It is not possible. And he is the one responsible for all the time for the creation. He is infinitely free and infinitely bound. Infinitely bound with everyone. And because he is infinitely bound with everyone, he has to come age after age in order to give that freedom, to release us from the bondage. And that is his work universal works. It is not just he comes and he goes. He is always there, only God exists. Besides God, whatever we see, it is non-existence. It does not exist. It is a dream. Now Fred, one night, he was seeing the dream. And of course, he was very happy. He found himself as a king. Big palace, big kingdom. And of course, he would enjoy life, all comforts, everything. Nice life, must enjoy. He would not take care of the people. Even they would suffer, no care. He was enjoying. But there was another king, King Charlie. So King Charlie, in the dream, he was just seeing this. The King Charlie finds that, oh, this king, he does not care for the people. It is no good. So it is my duty to just inform him that he should take care for the people. So he informed the king that whatever you are doing, King Fred, what you are doing, it is not good. You must take care of the people because you are the king and they are your subject. You must take care. And King Fred says, who is this man who is telling me? Why should I follow him? And he got very much upset and he did not listen to him. So then this King Charlie, he thinks that now there is no way out. I must wage a war against him, take away his kingdom. And then only, of course, I can just take care of the people. They are suffering. So he wages war against this King Fred. And then when the war was there, all his comforts he forgot at that time. He was just fighting and fighting, thinking that I must win the war, otherwise I would lose my kingdom. Comforts he forgot. He was just fighting and fighting. But King Charlie was also very strong. So he was fighting. And now what happens? King Fred finds that now he will be defeated. And when he will be defeated, he will be caught. And when he will be caught, the king would kill him. So it is better that he should run away from the battle. So he took one horse and he was running and running, going very, very fast, just thinking about how to save life and nothing else. Comforts he forgot, everything he forgot. How to save life. And then he wakes up from the dream. When he wakes up, he says, thanks God. It was a dream. It was a dream, thanks God. But when he was seeing that dream, it was a reality for him. It was a reality, it was not a dream. So also, we are seeing nothing but the dream. The world is a dream. And whatever we see in the world, that is the vacant dream, dream into dream. Whatever see in the night when you go back to bed, that is the vacant dream. And the world is the dream, long dream. In long dream, whatever we do, it is just a dream and nothing else. So when he comes, what he does? He awakens us from the dream. Or he also does something so that we may be awakened from the dream. So what he does? He gives his love. He gives his love. He works for everyone. Gives his love. The time of his universal manifestation, when it comes, then of course everyone accepts him, because the awakening is there. And awakening, of course, it differs from person to person. Not just the same. It is just like when it rains. His grace at the time of his universal manifestation, his grace falls like rain. Like rain. But when you are in the in the out, when and no protection, no umbrella, nothing, you just get fully drenched with the rain. If you have an umbrella, then of course you hold umbrella and few drops here and there you get. Then of course few drop. Then there are others, they sit on the veranda. Or they see, oh, very pleasant rain. Very, very pleasant rain. And they enjoy. Then there are others, they remain in closed door. And when they hear those people on the veranda, oh, it is very, very pleasant rain. It was very hot, now pleasant. So they hear. When they hear, so they think that we must also go out and see. So they try to open the door. Now those who are in the out, they are fully drenched. Their experience is different. Those who held umbrella, their experience is different. Those who are on the veranda, their experience is different. Those who are in the closed door, their experience is different. But everyone is inclined towards the rain. So also when his universal manifestation takes place, everyone will feel inclined towards the divinity. Of course, that experience will differ from person to person. I should say that you are so fortunate that at least you have come to hear about him. There are some who follow him. There are some who remain dedicated to him. But they are different persons. But how did it happen? Baba has said, your duty is just to make the people hear my name through the ears. And what is his work? To bring that word from ear to heart. That is his duty. So, of course, those who are with Baba, now the duty is that just to make the people hear his name, whether they accept him or they don't accept, because when they hear, his duty is there to bring that from ear to heart. That duty, of course, he will do. He is bound to do. It cannot be avoided. He is most compassionate. I just tell you one example that Baba said that he was in one place called MeherBabaLibrary. It is 9 miles from the city. And 9 miles from the city, and then of course there 9 miles, of course there was no post office in that place, just Baba's ashram and nothing else. So every day the boy from MeherBabaLibrary would go and take the mail. So one day Baba came in the morning, and there is one Eric, Baba's main disciple. Baba asked him to write one urgent and important letter and send it immediately because it was important. And he was very, very alert, very, very careful. So before he started writing the letter, he called that boy and he said to him that now be careful, now get ready. I am just writing this letter and immediately you have to go to Ahmednagar to post this letter. So get ready. And he started writing the letter. When he completed the letter and he was to just give to that boy, the boy was not ready. And when he was not ready, Eraj got upset. And he started shouting at him, why did you not get ready? I have told you. Why did you not do that? So he was shouting. And Baba was just listening, hearing. He was calm and quiet. When that boy left and Eraj came in the hall, Baba says, what happened? Why were you shouting? He said, that boy, I told him to get ready and he was not ready. So I told him that it is important you get ready, but he did not. And that's why I was shouting. Shouting? Yes, I got angry. And that's why I was shouting. Baba says, you got angry. Where was that boy? He was just near me. But if you had just said softly, would you not hear when he was near you? But I got angry. And that's why I was shouting. So Baba says, this shows that when anger is there, it creates the distance. The boy was so close to you, so near, and you got angry, and because you got angry, you created the distance. And that's why you started shouting. But suppose someone is in love with some girl. So what does he do? He does just looks at her. Looks at her, and first of course, then after some time, he just whispers and just looks at her. First he says something, but then that too also he cannot do. Then he whispers, and then afterwards that whispering also is stuck in love. So they just look at each other. Silent, they become in love. So love engulfs the distance. Anger creates the distance. So love, only love, whatever we see, this world is very, very big space. When love is there, it engulfs the distance. And that love only the beloved can give. Without asking, because he is responsible. It is not that you have to ask him, just he gives. For that purpose, he comes down on earth. And that love, it cannot be just explained or discussed what is love. Love is love. Mother is there and child is there. No one tells the mother how to love the child. Mother, this is just natural. Mother loves the child. And child also loves the mother. And child, so long the child is child, of course, he depends upon the mother. When he depends upon the mother, then the mother takes care of the child. Takes care of the child. Even if he does not ask nothing, but the mother has to take care of the child because of love. But then the child is grown up, does not depend upon the mother. So mother also says, no, of course we can do now. So then of course does not depend. So also when you depend upon God the beloved, when you depend upon him for everything, then of course he is there to take care. But then we think that, whoa, we are so intelligent. We can do anything. Why should we ask anything? What is God? Whatever we want, we can do. All these people who have no knowledge, no intelligence, so they depend upon them. But I tell you, this intellect which you have, it is no intellect, it is just nothing. But we should not become, we must become the master of the intellect. We must not become the slave of the intellect. Master of the intellect, when we become so, of course, through intellect also we can do good work. But when we become the slave, then of course we lose. We remain bound. So MeherBaba, of course, he is the awakener. He is the awakener. He comes down on earth. When he comes down on earth, he just comes for the creation. And he does not expect anything from anyone. Because no one knows who he is. I'm telling you that I spent so many years with him. But his death, no idea, nothing. Sometimes we will also forget because he would be on our level. So we would forget that he is the highest of the high. And then, of course, sometimes Baba would remind us that it is all right for you. It is all right, but don't forget that I am the highest of the high. Don't forget it. So his work is quite different. No one can understand his work. Universal work, we can just talk. What is universal work? Universal work is that he works for the cash, he works for the stone, he works for the vegetable, he works for the worms, fish, bird, animal, and human beings. Because what happens during this is a sophisticated age. No one has any idea how lower kingdoms are exploited. And when lower kingdoms are exploited, the process of evolution of consciousness is disturbed. He is very much disturbed, and that's why, because of that, there is chaos and confusion in the world. And it will be more and more, different diseases will be there, more and more serious, because when the illusion, which is in full force, it must go to the extreme, and then the spirituality will also manifest in the extreme. So that's why it is there, but don't worry. He is the highest of the high. He has accepted all humanity. He has said, at the time of dropping his body, just before that, he said that be true to the trust I have reposed in you. What the trust? What is his trust? He has accepted us. And when he has accepted the humanity, that trust he has reposed, and he just wants that when you come to know about him, just know well that he has accepted, and when we know that, then of course we love him, we remember him, we follow his wish. Now his wish and will, there are two things. Now what happens, the intellectuals, free will. That is free will, our free will. We can do whatever we like, that is free will. But that is not the thing. Everything happens according to the divine will. One day, Fred had cold and he wanted to eat ice cream. So he was eating, and Charlie comes. He says, oh, you have got cold, don't eat ice cream. He says, I am eating because of divine will, under divine will, I am eating. So Charlie says immediately, you are eating under divine will, and divine will tells me that you should not eat. I am telling you, it is also under divine will. What should you do? Everything is under divine will, and if you take it, then of course all confusion. So Baba gave very good example for this. He said, when I was Muhammad, at that time, Muhammad people were very, very illiterate. In any place, any village, of course, when anyone would know how to sign, he was considered to be very learned. And people would, of course, respect him. So, in a village, not two, even one would be there and people would pay respect to him. For everything, they would go and seek his advice. Now, Prophet Muhammad, he would tell everyone, those who would approach, everything happens according to divine will. So one day what happens, one person from one village went to Prophet Muhammad, and Prophet Muhammad just talking with other people, and he said that everything happens according to divine will. So when he went back to the village, he did not understand anything because he was quite illiterate. So he goes to the one who knew how to sign. So he was considered to be very learned. So he says, today I had been to Prophet Muhammad, and he was telling me and others that everything happens according to divine will. Whether this is right, divine will? He says, no, it is not right. I tell you, everything happens according to our will, free will. Whatever I want, I do. It does not depend upon divine will. So he says, why not you go and challenge Prophet Muhammad? Because he always tells that everything happens according to divine will and people follow him. It is no good, they should follow you. Because you say that whatever you want you do, so go and challenge him. He says, yes, I will go. So he goes to Prophet Muhammad. And Prophet Muhammad, he went to him and he says, Muhammad, whether this is right, this is the truth, that everything happens according to the divine will. And Prophet says, yes, it is the truth, that everything happens according to divine will. He says, what? What are you talking? whatever I want to do, I can do. Where is your divine will? I don't ask anyone. Whatever I feel, I just do. There is nothing. So Prophet Muhammad says it is also under divine will. Under divine will, I don't follow you. You have to explain. See, if you want explanation, all right, I will give. Stand up. So that man stood up. He stood up and Muhammad, he was just looking this side, that side, avoiding him. And that young man got upset. Muhammad, why don't you explain? You asked me to stand up and now you are avoiding me. And if you cannot explain, then accept whatever I said to you. Accept that anyone can do whatever he likes. So he says, young man, you have no patience. I am just explaining to you. But all right, if you are in a hurry, just lift one leg. So he lifted one leg and Muhammad was just looking this side and that side. And he got very much upset. He said, Muhammad, why don't you explain? Why don't you explain? He said, young man, I am explaining. You have no patience. All right, lift another leg. Another leg, I will fall down. Why don't you explain? He said, you are an intelligent person. I have already explained. And still you said, explain. You did not follow? He said, no, I did not. He said, then you think that you are intelligent. And still you don't follow? All right. If you want further explanation, I just give you. When I asked you to stand up, you stood up. So both legs were under divine will. When I asked you to lift one leg, then one leg when you lifted, of course another leg is in the under divine will. And one leg you lifted, this is your free will. How much you can move. And because it is under the divine will, and that's why you can move a little. It is also under divine will. But when you lift another leg, you fall down. So everything is under divine will. This free will, your free will is also under divine will. So then, of course, Baba explained that whenever he comes, in order to verify it, to make it easy, he expresses his wish. And expresses so that people may follow the wish. It is very, very clear. So he has expressed his wish in 1958. It so happened that Baba had been to the West in 1952, and he met with an accident. And accident, of course, auto accident. He had declared long ago that America needs my blood, and I have to save my blood there. And when he made 11 visits up to 1937 from 31, but then he stopped and came here in 1958, met with an accident, and then of course after the accident, when he went to India, he would always be in seclusion, because his work. He would not just collect big crowd or this, no. That was not his work. He would work for everyone, but in seclusion. But sometimes that opportunity would give. So after going back from here, then of course, mass darshan program, that means wherever he would go, thousands of people would come to him. Thousands in every place, continuously he would go from place to place. And thousands, 60,000, 70,000, 80,000. What he would do? He would not give discourse or this to those people. Nothing. But everyone, all the people, when they would come, they would feel merged with, absorbed in the bliss. And they would enjoy. And each one would come in queue to him. And he would give one banana. One banana he would give and he would be pushed away, he or she. Just continuously it would go on. And now, after that, again in 1956, Baba met with another accident at Satara, India. And that was also very serious accident. And after that, all the orthopedic surgeons, they declared that Baba would never be able to walk. never be able to walk. That was declared. And nobody thought that Baba would be able to walk. So one day we were in Pune, and after the accident, means after 1 year, 1.5 years, and Baba says to us, today I feel that I must walk. So just catch hold of me. So we were holding him, and he started walking. He started walking, and then that fire, but one foot, it became just smaller than the other foot. And that's why you saw in the film that he was walking like this. Otherwise, very, very fast. When Baba would walk, we would just run after him. Very, very fast, very energetic all the time. But after this second accident, of course, he would not be, the pain would be there. And one incident I tell you, such a touching incident. What happened? That when Baba met with an accident and he had pain all the time, he would not be able to walk. And then there was one doctor, Dr. Harry. He was completely blind. And when he was blind, when Baba had come here in 1956, he met him. And blind could not see Baba. But blind, what he felt, that was quite different thing. It is not that seeing, he said that I am not this body. I am not this body. So, of course, he felt inner joy. And then afterwards, when Baba met with an accident and he heard, so he was chiropractic doctor. He said, why not? This is the opportunity for me. I must go and give him treatment. So he came to MeherBabaLibrary, the ashram. And Baba permitted him. He said, all right, you give me treatment when I come in the hall in the morning. Every day, of course, I give 1 hour to you. And he just started giving treatment. So every day when Baba would come in the morning, he would ask Dr. Kenmore, did you sleep last night? He said, yes, Baba, I slept very well. And of course, I think that yesterday I gave treatment, so today the pain must be less. Baba says, it is more than yesterday. More than yesterday I gave treatment. And how is it? How is it that pain increased? So he was just thinking about that. Third day, when he came, same thing Baba asked him, did you sleep? He said, no, I did not sleep. Why? I was just worrying that I don't love you. I don't love you. Baba says, why? He says, yes, I am giving you treatment, but it is not helping you, and the pain goes on increasing. So this is not my love. He had read one story. There was one person, devotee of Krishna. So his name was Namdev. So Krishna's statue was there in one of the place of pilgrimage. So he would just be with the statue, and all the time Krishna, 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 and nothing else but Krishna. One day he said, Krishna, the food came, he did not eat. Krishna, first you eat, then only I will eat. And he said, I will not eat. Krishna, you eat. Krishna, you eat. And the statue, this is not just a story, this is a fact, this is the truth, that the statue ate the food. So here, of course, Dr. Harry Kenmore says that even Namdev made the statue to eat food. But here I am, that I am giving you treatment, but the pain is increasing, and that's why it shows that I don't love you. And Baba laughed. He said, statue, it has no will. But now you are dealing with my will. And what is my will? According to that universal work is there. Why this pain is there, why the accident took place, it is not because it happened. It It is, I wanted that for my universal work. So the pain is there because the burden of the universe is there. I have taken upon the burden. So long it is there, the pain will be there. As soon as I wipe out that burden, then of course I will be all right. So it is the opportunity for you to serve me. I am giving you opportunity. Don't think that you don't love me. It is not so, because you are dealing with my will. And when you are dealing with my will, then of course you seek my pleasure. It is nothing. The pain, of course, this is the opportunity to you. Just go on doing, give me treatment. You wanted to give me treatment, I am allowing you. So you must feel fortunate that you are serving me. So will, that is quite different thing. God's will, divine will. When He comes on earth, very, very active, He suffers and suffers and suffers. He is all bliss, infinitely bliss. But in illusion, what is there in illusion? Illusion is there is nothing but suffering. Even happiness is suffering because it creates bondage. Above this suffering and happiness, there is something beyond that, and that is bliss. So we are just, we have to experience that bliss, and because of that, we are in creation to experience that. And it is destined, everyone has to experience today or tomorrow. This is a definite thing, but I should say, this is the period when He has to manifest most important people. There, of course, in this period, whether you accept Him or you reject Him, you praise Him or criticize Him, He is the one who is everyone and everything. So He cannot just, He Himself, of course, He has to serve Himself because He is the only one. He says, you and I are not we, but one. We cannot understand. You and I are not we, but one. That oneness, God, indivisible, infinite. So it is not that God is just a part in her and a part in that. No, He is one. Soul, infinite, one in everyone, and everyone He is there. So we have to experience. We have to experience Him as a whole, not a part. Why we don't experience Him? Because our false self is there. Our false self is there, which creates nothing but dream. And we go on dreaming and dreaming and following that false self. Everyone. But no one should be blamed because we don't know. We don't know, and that's why we are not at fault. All desires, thoughts, everything is there. Whether we invite any desire? No, they are there. Nobody invites desire to come. They are there. So they are there, so why should we be blamed for that when we have desires? So no, of course we are not invited, so we should not be blamed. Only one thing is that when we know about God, then of course it is our duty, responsibility to follow Him, to love Him, to remember Him, to depend upon Him. It is our duty, and when it happens, then of course we just get awareness. Baba has given a very good example. He said that goods train is there, and when the engine is there and different compartments are there. Suppose in one compartment there is gold, in another compartment there is silver, in third there is iron, fourth there is just stinking garbage. But what happens when all the compartments are connected with the engine? They all go along with the engine and reach the destination. It does not happen that the compartment of gold goes along with the engine and the compartment of stinking garbage remains there. No, it also goes. So Baba says, whether you are good or bad, it is not your business to think about it. Whatever you are. Don't think about it. Only think that you have to remain connected with engine. And engine, he is the engine. remain connected. How to remain connected with angel? Through his remembrance. If you remain connected with him through remembrance, of course, whatever you are, don't worry about it. He is the one who embraces the saints and embraces the sinners. Worst type of sinners. Even Baba has said, forget this language of sin. Because when, or if you do it, then of course sins you will be committing, and then you will go to hell. All the time this fear is there. In love, there is no fear. Love, of course, when love is there, no fear. Oh, I did this, I have committed so many sins. Since you remember, and the beloved who is the strength, beloved God who is the strength, we forget. And since we remember, oh, I have committed this sin, that sin, so many sins we remember, and feel that we are very weak. But I tell you, the strength is in everyone. The beloved is in everyone, and because beloved God is in everyone, and because He is everyone in everyone is strong. Only thing that we don't know, and we just think that think about the weaknesses all the time. He is the strength within us. Remember the strength, and the weaknesses will be wiped out. Don't remember the weaknesses. Go on remembering. You go on remembering. Oh, so many weaknesses. If someone comes and, of course, you prepare the list, this weakness, that weakness, of course, easily you can make the list of weaknesses, so many weaknesses. But forget the strength. The strength is within everyone, and that strength which wipes out the weaknesses. So, I not to remember that weakness, so that, of course, that strength, so that weaknesses will be automatically wiped out. And that's why Baba Meher Baba, the most compassionate one, he would suffer and suffer, but there is nothing. Whenever he comes down on earth, he has to suffer, because he has to take upon the burden, and that burden when he takes upon himself, then he has to suffer. Once it so happened that Baba would never encourage miracles or this. Some people would come to him and they would say that, Baba, of course you perform this miracle and that miracle, and he would say, this is just the news to me. I just give an example. What happened that once Baba had been to northern India during after his accident in America, and thousands of people would come. So he was in one place, and thousands of people were there. They were coming to him in a queue. And there was one boy, 15, 16 years old, very, very handsome boy, good health. But he was blind. So people were supporting him. And he came to Baba. And Baba just gave him one banana, and he was pushed away. Now after that program was completed, Baba left for another place. And on the way, Baba asked the driver to stop the car. So buses were there, and then Baba went and sat under a tree. And we all were there, surrounded. And Baba says, today, I tell you, God is most compassionate. I tell you the truth. God is most compassionate. Today God saved me. And we could not follow. Why Baba is repeating this? He said, I tell you the truth. Today God saved me. And then we were looking at him. He was observing silence. Since 1925, 10th July, he observed silence, which silence he did not breathe. In 1969, he dropped his body, complete silence all these years. So what he would do, he took alphabet board. First he wrote one book. So he was writing for 1.5 years. Afterwards he stopped writing. Then he took one alphabet board, and through that board he would just dictate, converse with the people. And different languages through that board, English script, he would just through that board different languages. Then in 1954, he discarded that board, and then of course through gestures, A, B, C, D, and his gestures were very, very eloquent. So through his gestures till the end of course, and he has dictated so many books. In other advent, when he was not silent, he did not write so many books. But in this age, when he was observing silence, he dictated so many books. So many books through gestures and through alphabet code. He is the one, of course, when he was physically present, he constructed his tomb, he got his tomb constructed. In 1938, his tomb was constructed when he was physically present, and in 1969, he dropped the body. And in his tomb, when people would come, so sometimes he would send them, just go to my tomb and see me there. So now I should say that when Baba was there and that boy came, so then Baba says that when that boy came, so he was so handsome, so healthy. So I felt that I must give him sight. But God saved me. God saved me because it was not good for him. So good that I did not give. God saved me, otherwise if it had been bad for that boy, he would have suffered. So when Baba was explaining this, here one of the disciples started smiling, and Baba looked at him and he said, "Why are you smiling?" So he says, "When that boy came to you and you gave him one banana and he was pushed away, so a thought came in my mind." So what thought? He said, I just thought that when Baba was Jesus, he gave life to the dead and of course sight to the blind, but this time he has become very miser. So that thought came in my mind, and that was the reply Baba was giving him, that was not good for him. So miracles, what miracles? We are reality in everyone. One who gives that experience, that is a miracle. That is the last miracle, because whatever we just see different things, everyone has infinite power. We are not conscious about it, we are not aware of that. So that without just dealing with that, just having that awareness, for that awareness we don't long. And when someone shows something as from the sky, oh, he is very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. What power? This is nothing. One incident, of course, Baba told one story. There was a perfect master. Perfect master is the one who becomes one with God, comes down on earth, comes down to creation consciousness, and he has infinite power, infinite knowledge, infinite bliss, and he does universal work. But avatar, the Christ, he is quite different. Quite different means all the time under him, all this perfect master they were. So this one perfect master was there, and he was just living in a forest, and few disciples were there. And he would not perform any miracle, nothing, he would not allow people to come to him. And there was one yogi. Yogi, of course, he would perform miracles. And thousands of people would come to him, because miracles they would see very, very powerful, very powerful. So one day, years passed by, but the master, perfect master, did not allow people to come to him. He was doing work for everyone, for the universe. But he would not allow any people to come to him. And this yogi, thousands and thousands of people, of course, they were very powerful yogi. So one day, one person comes to the master. And he comes to the master. He came to know that there is one master. So the yogi, he goes to the yogi and he says that, "Yogi, there is one man, he calls himself a perfect master, but he does not perform any miracle. Should I go and challenge him?" Yes, do it. So he goes to the master. When he goes to the master, master would not see anyone. But when this man goes to him, so master meets him. He says, what do you want? He says, I just want to know whether you are a perfect master. He says, yes, I am a perfect master. What miracles do you perform? He says, I don't perform any miracle. So this shows that you have no power. And that's why you don't perform any miracle. He says, no, miracle, of course, it has nothing, it is useless. He says, no, because you have no power and that's why you don't perform any miracle and call yourself as a perfect master. That is not stop doing that. Our yogi, he performs so many miracles and is powerful. He says, what? Your yogi, whatever your yogi does, it is just a child's play. It has no meaning, child's play. It is no good. He says, could I go and tell my yogi that you said that it is what he does, it is just a child's play? He says, go and tell. So he goes to the yogi and he says that of course that perfect master, though he does not perform any miracle, but he says that whatever you do, it is just child's play for him. So, just wait. One day you will see, I will make him bow down at my feet. Just wait. And here the master gives him opportunity. The master leaves that place and from there he was going to some other place. And when he was going, in between of course there was a river. So the master was sitting and asked them what experience they had. And they told me they don't have any experience. Why don't you do them some experience? Baba says, I don't know any experience. I don't know anything about that. He said, no Baba, you must give them experience. It helps them. Baba says, no, it helps, but I don't know what experience you want. I don't have. No, Baba, you must give experience. I know that you can give. Baba says, I don't know, but there is one person with me. So he always talks about different things. I don't know what experience he has and who gives him that too, I don't know. But he always talks about that. So if you want, you go and meet him. So he goes to him and then of course, what experience you have, and he narrated the experience. And he says that this sunshine, that glimpse when I get, the light, it is just nothing, this light is nothing before that light. How to explain that? And of course I lose my consciousness and I fall down. When I experience that, it is quite different things. Oh, and he was so happy. So happy, and he says that he came to Baba and he says, Baba, it is because of your grace he has this experience. I don't have that experience. He has that experience because of your grace. And Baba says, do you know what is my grace? My grace is complete ruination. That is my grace. When there is complete ruination, then of course you know everything. This false self, when it is just completely ruined, then of course you become, you have that knowledge, infinite bliss, infinite power you realize. And that is that experience. When that experience comes, of course, then of course you just have that experience eternally. You, even when you drop your body, the experience always remains with you. And that is the real experience. Without that, whatever on the way, whatever experiences we have, it has no meaning at all. That is the real experience, and the highest of the high. He always gives the highest thing, not this little thing, no. He is not interested in that, because then again entanglement, one gets involved in that. Such experiences when they are there, so one gets more and more involved in the experiences, and that's why ultimate experience, and that's why Baba always says that I take my lovers blindfolded. Blindfolded, so catches hold of the hand and does not allow, blindfolded does not allow to just see here and there, just to the destination. And that's why in between no experience. 5 fingers. So in between, of course, no experience, because what happens, we get involved in those experiences, and that's why he does not allow. But I should say that we are really fortunate that one thing definitely I tell you, whether you accept him or don't accept him, whether you ignore him or you praise him, but he is the one, those who reject him because he has accepted, he has to work, he has to clean, he has to give that awareness towards the divinity. So he has to work for that person, the sinners, any type, nothing. He has nothing, he has to embrace each one. He is the one, embraces the saints, embraces the sinners. He is the highest of the high. And this is that period when he is infinitely active. Why he is infinitely active? Because he has to manifest. How he has to manifest? Whether he has to give some message, he has done that message, he has given so many messages, discourses, so many things he has given. Not that message. He has to clean us, give that awareness. Why we don't have that awareness? Because our mind, it is full of different impressions, natural, unnatural impressions. Those impressions, because they are there, we cannot just cannot experience God because of that, cannot have that awareness. So he has to clean, and when he has to manifest universally, whether you want it or you don't want it, he has to clean. That is a definite thing, and that's why I have come here to give that assurance that you all belong to him, whether you accept him or don't accept, reject him, criticize him, but he is the one, the real one, the highest of the high, the truth, the reality. He is the one, and he is for everyone because he is everyone. So he has to work for everyone, and he has to manifest. And that thing, when he has to do it, so one thing is there, when you follow him, accept him, that is, he feels pleased. If you don't please him, still he has to work. He has to suffer, but he has to work. So it is not that you will ignore anyone, he cannot do that, because he is everyone. He is you. How can he ignore himself? It is not possible for him. Most compassionate, most loving, the highest of the high. And what a fortune the age has, that age, sophisticated age. Illusion full force. Illusion is going to the extreme, and people get tired because of the sophistication. They enjoy, at the same time they get tired, they get confused, and confusion is there, restlessness is there, and the play of illusion, it is there, but he has to manifest, and he has to manifest. This is the situation created by him. Why this is created by him? So that the spirituality should manifest to the extreme. So the time will come. It is coming, and coming for the present. It appears that only few people know. Thousands and thousands, millions of people are there. How many are there in the hall? Here, very few in comparison. But those who are not here, do not think that he will ignore them. But you will be in different degree. No doubt awareness will differ. Your awareness will be more than others. Their time will also come. He is not going to neglect anyone. So each one will have his share. So there is something about the subject today, divine treasure. What is the subject, Billy?
The inexhaustible treasure of God's beauty.
So that treasure. Now God's beauty, what is that beauty? What is the creation and what is the beauty? I just explained. The beauty, there was one, Bhau was in at Mehrazad, his ashram in India. So he was in seclusion, and one governor of the state, one state, he wanted to see Baba. Baba would not see anyone when he would be in seclusion, but he permitted. So when he permitted and he was to come, so that ashram 9 miles from Ahmednagar city, so 9 miles nothing but that police all over, because the head of the state he was coming, all over the police. Now what happened? Baba had given the time, fixed time. 9 o'clock he had to come. 8 o'clock Baba came in the hall, and Baba says he was silent, he was not speaking. So at what time that governor would come through signs? So he would come at 9 o'clock. Either he would come at 9 o'clock. Yes, Baba. He is head of the state, so he must maintain his time. So there was one person, police inspector. He had taken his duty at the gate of MeherBabaLibrary. And when Baba was coming to the Mandi hall, Baba saw him from a distance. He said, just go. He asked one of the Mandi, go and ask him whether he would come at 9 o'clock. So that person goes and asks the inspector that whether the governor would come at 9 o'clock. He says he is the head of the state. He must come at 9 o'clock. So he comes and tells Baba that he says that 9 o'clock, of course he would come. Baba says, what is the time? It was 8:45. Baba says, go and again ask him whether he would come at 9 o'clock. So again he goes and again he asks. Within 15 minutes, of course, 5-6 times this message went to him. And it was 9 o'clock and he did not come. Again Baba waited for 5 minutes and then he sent that person and said, call that man. So that inspector comes to Baba. Baba says, you said to, you were telling that he is the head of the state. He would come at 9 o'clock exactly, but now what is the time? He says, Baba, it never happened. I don't know how did it happen today. It never happened. So Baba says, don't worry. I wanted to see you. And because I wanted to see you, this paraphernalia, all this is because of that. I wanted to see you. And as Baba said that I wanted to see you, he just wept and wept, could not control himself. And then Baba says, how long you will be waiting here? He says, he is the governor, head of the state, so unless we get some message, we have to do our duty. Baba says, all right, go and stay there. And then Baba said that this inspector is a really very good person. Actually, I wanted to see him. So when your lunch time, invite him and give him lunch. Now, Baba left at 11 o'clock and then that was our lunch time. So we invited that inspector. And the inspector, when he came, so he said that that governor did not come in time and Baba never used time to anyone. But of course he gave to him, but good that Baba said that it is for you. And again he started weeping and weeping, and he says, now I must tell you the truth, why I came and took up my duty here. Since last 5 years, I am trying and trying to see Baba from a distance. But that was always I would come and of course I would be told that he was in seclusion. So I would go away. So today of course I thought that now I would not be able to go to him, but from a distance I would be able to see him, and that's why I took my duty here. But how compassionate he is, that not only he saw me, but also he has asked me to take this prasad food. How fortunate. And then of course 3 o'clock the message comes from the governor that because of certain emergency he could not come. So they all left. After some time, again the governor writes, expresses his apology and says that I could not make it, but now give me time and date you fix, and anyhow I will make it. And then again Baba accepted that. Date was fixed, time was fixed, and he was to come. Same thing happened, that police came 9 miles, but before that, Baba said that the chart of creation, you fixed there in the Mandli hall. Chart of creation, how creation took place. Gas, stone, vegetable, worm, fish, bird, animal, and human being. So, and then inner journey also. Now what happened, the governor came and made Baba, Baba embraced him. And Baba said, I am very pleased to see you. Last time you could not come. He said, yes, Baba, because of emergency I could not come. I am so sorry. But this time anyhow I made it and I am so happy to see you. And then he looks in the Mandli hall, what was there, and he saw the chart. As soon as he saw the chart, he went to the chart and he started studying the chart. Oh, this is quite new thing. This way the creation has taken place. Gas, then stone, vegetable, worm, fish, bird, animal, human beings. Oh, this is evolution of consciousness. And then inner journey, subtle world, mental world, then God. Oh, this is quite new thing. Quite new thing, I never heard such a thing. And then he stood up there and we were sitting there. He says, look here, this chart is very, very important. Very, very important, this is quite new thing. And this chart, every house must have. See that it is printed and distributed to every house. Very, very important. This is very important chart, chart of creation. The creator, when he was describing this, the creator was very much disappointed. He forgot the creator and got involved in the chart. And then of course afterwards Baba says, now 5 minutes over, I had given you 5 minutes, it is over. Yes Baba, yes. I am so happy to see you and most happy to see this chart. So it happens, everyone is the creator. I tell you, everyone is the creator. But we get involved in creation and we just forget. Forget the creator who is all the time with us, all the time. We just get involved in the creation and the creation becomes beautiful. Really beauty is within us. The beauty, it is within us and it is his duty to just make us experience that beauty which is within us, which we forget. And for that purpose, he is responsible for all time to the creation. And that's why I say that just remember. Remember, if you can remember. If you don't want to remember him, why should I remember? Yes, say, why should I remember? Give me some experience that I will see. If I am suffering from this, just make me free from that suffering, then I will remember you. Also put condition, if you want. See what happens. But I tell you, that just have that love, that have, he is the real one, real thing he gives. Just try to have it.
Yay.